And I want to thank you for that question. Many times your colleagues are not kind to us. Even many times the footballers and the NFF are not kind to those who did the behind the scene work. To be able to ask that question simply means you understand that a whole lot would have gone into putting that together. And the first place I want to start is with the appointment of Eric Chelle as coach. I remember when the NSC, in collaboration with the NFF, decided to bring Eric Chelle. Moses and Akim and Bello dragged me into the station. After one or two people like Tajudisu had gone there to say, how can they bring a Malian to coach Nigeria? And I remember having a banter with Moses, especially in the studio, where I said, we live in a global village, and that I had seen Eric's TV and was convinced that we did the right thing in bringing Eric. Because at that time, Eric had scored 75 goals with Mali. And I thought a country like Mali that does not have an Osimhen, a Lukman, we didn't know about AFCON at that time, would make Nigeria a goal-scoring machine. And so I'm very glad that our effort in bringing Eric Chelle, and I arrogantly take pride in saying I was part of those and Malam Shehu who decided to bring Eric Chelle as a coach, even if people are not giving us our credit today for that. I also take pride in the fact that the NSC has been responsible in paying the salary of the coaches, and the payment has not failed, except say for January that is not ending yet, that we intend to pay next week. This is historical. This has never happened. When you put that together, you agree with me that where the comfort of the coaching crew was put at the forefront, easily it was made for them in the back room of the planning for the coaches to work well with the players. And I think that was one of the things that led to the success. The other aspects are a whole lot of tactical play from the administrators, a whole lot of politics. To God be the glory, the combination of the administrators from the NSC to the NFF to football stakeholders to the footballers made this happen. But you know, the captain, the coach, the champion of all of this, Ahmadu, GCFR, the president, the father of the nation. Never in the history of sports have we ever seen funding like we are seeing today. I make bold to say that the funding that the Super Eagles and NFL have enjoyed from Baba Ahmadu has been amazing, ubiquitous, and humongous. It has been massive. And because of that support that makes you feel confident as an administrator, we have been able to put that confidence in the coaching crew and in the playing crew, which has led to that. But that is not only with football, it is with every sport. Last night I sent a long list of things that I want to achieve in the next 2 weeks, including Davis Cup in tennis, Cycling African Championship, World Running Conference to be hosted in Lagos, where Lord Sebastian is planning to come and attend, AFCON in 2 months' time, where we need to go and defend our trophy and qualify for the World Cup in 2027, among so many other things. But I put at the end of that my write-up, we have failed so far in refurbishing and improving in our infrastructure. Now is the time for us to aggressively pursue it. And I sent it to my chief of staff, I sent to my SA strategy, and I sent to Malam Shehu, and I sent to the Minister of Finance for States last night. This is to tell you that I have the confidence that by the time all of this gets to Mr. President, we'll be okay to say that we are ready to unleash success into the homes of Nigerians, because it is evident, contrary to what Oliseh said, it is evident that the feel-good factor, that a bronze medal that the president has called a golden bronze, lives in our homes, and the psychological effect on our people is always very needed. I disagree with Oliseh totally on so many things he said, indicting Osimhen and all those stuff. I believe our superstars of yesteryears that we must continue to respect must also sit in their place and be mentors to these youngsters and not denigrating them the way Oliseh did. I did say I didn't want to get involved, but I believe strongly that Osimhen is the second biggest brand after the Super Eagles today in this country. I know what I'm saying. And if we want to pitch Nigeria alongside a brand, the Super Eagles is our number 1 brand. Osimhen is our number 2 brand. And without doubt, the Super Falcons are number 3 brand. My opinion. And as a brand expert who has done business in branding, I know authoritatively that I'm speaking to facts. Having said that, with respect to Oliseh, like he said, his history is written and cast in stone. Nobody can reduce that. He's our superhero, but he must now leave room for the youngsters to make their mistakes and learn from it, just like he did. That Onigbide did not forgive him before the World Cup. Some of us supported him against Onigbide, and at the time he must remember that he also did things that disorganized the Super Eagles, discouraged the players, caused disunity amongst our players, but he was forgiven by a grateful nation. Osimhen, Lukman, Ako, Basi, even Ekong that has resigned, these are great heroes of our country, and we must see them as such. This is in the world now. First time in almost 7 years.
Yeah.
We were second to last, and we just 3 points before we appointed him. And before I was appointed, Ahmadu was appointed. We got to the playoff. Who knows? We have petitioned FIFA. Who knows? Who knows what will come out of that petition? We just might be playing in the World Cup.
Yeah, we hope that the best actually come out of that.
Amen.
But Chelle, I mean, the contract situation and all of that, I was actually among those.
It was number 7 I wrote on that list. I forgot to mention.
Okay. So we're
on it.
Discussion has started.
Eric Chelle had dinner with me 2 days ago in my house in Abuja. I'm not the NFF, but we have a collaborative approach. Eric Chelle has become a brother and a friend. And I called the NFF president that same night. Hopefully by Tuesday, Wednesday, we all will sit down together. He's not going anywhere. I've said to him, the countries who are laying claim to saying they want him do not have the kind of superstars that makes his job easy for him to work, because we cannot forget the fact that Eric Chelle thrived because he had the equipment and instruments in those personnel that he used in executing. It was not only coaching, it was the ability that he found. Today, we have a surplus in our defense. Today, we have a surplus in our midfield. Today, we have a surplus in our striking. Today, we have a surplus in goalkeeping role. Okonkwo of Arsenal and Wrexham has come in. FIFA has cleared him as a goalkeeper. That's a young goalkeeper who is 21, who is making a huge name for himself, catching penalties everywhere. But I don't like us always dwelling on football alone. Sport is thriving in Nigeria. Last year, my office and the office of Sheudiko sent out 54 national teams. 51 of them thrived. We are world champions in Scrabble. We are part of the first 12 in chess. We are African champions in weightlifting, badminton, para-badminton, powerlifting, women basketball, women football. I can name a lot of victories that we achieved. Beyond that, we hosted 11 international sporting events. Never happened in this country. From karate to arm wrestling to athletics to football, 11 international competitions hosted in this country. And these were all because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu decided that there must be a turn in sports, scrapped the Ministry of Sports, appointed Sheudiko, appointed Bukola Olopade, and with our colleagues at the Commission, we are seeing the results.
My question was going to be towards what he asked. I think I was maybe sure that now let me just go on infrastructure. You were at Morocco, you saw and we read a lot of testimonies about Morocco as well. And we've seen different administration come and go, pay this service to our own facilities, but we have been planned. Are we also going to do that way, or we are going to do that? Because the number I saw at the start tweet about everybody going, like Africa goes to Morocco every time. Is there any plan for Nigeria to wake up to the responsibility?
I already answered that. I already answered it while I was talking. I said, I indicted the NSC. I said the only area where we have failed so far because I believe failure is routine in life, and it is through your failures that you become successful. And I did mention in the interview earlier that we have failed so far in our infrastructural drive, in our drive to develop infrastructure. And I did say aggressively we want to start pursuing this from Tuesday. Obviously starting with the National MQ International Stadium in Abuja. But I'm glad about something. I'm glad that in my budget, as I await my warrant, we have added 2 training pitches to Abeokuta MQ Stadium Arena to support the state. That will make it a complete international stadium to host anything. We have also put in the budget Mudalawa Stadium to revamp it and make it solid enough to host any kind of competition, not international, but all our local leagues can be hosted there. We've also seen how Governor Oboriwori of Delta State is building a stadium better than the one in Uyo in Warri. We have seen what my friend Doye Diri, the governor of Bayelsa, is doing, building a stadium better than the one in Uyo that will be ready by 2027 December. We have seen what my Governor Sanwo-Olu is doing in Lagos State with Testing Balogun. The grass is the same grass that was used in the final in Morocco. And what does that tell you? It simply means that by the end of 2027, Nigeria would have been able to boast of infrastructures for football. But I know you guys are fixated on football. We also have a private businessman that is about to build a $1 million wrestling pavilion, world class, in the heart of the Abuja Stadium. Just yesterday, I spoke to my facility manager. On Tuesday, I'm taking the gentleman there to see the landed property that he will build on. We also have a betting company that wants to build a multi-purpose hall strictly for special sports. When we talk about facilities, our focus cannot be on football alone. It must be holistic. It must be wholesome. And that is why at the NSC, some of the things we've put in place, including improving facilities on our campuses and building swimming pool for any state that will be hosting the festival, because we have identified swimming pool as one of the most difficult for states to put in place. Starting with Enugu, by February, the contractors will be mobilized to go into Enugu Stadium, Azikiwe Stadium, and build a world-class swimming pool, similar to what we have here, so that the National Sports Festival can always get support from the NSC to the whole state. So, fret no more. We are working towards improvement of facilities. We know we are not there yet, but we are about to blow your minds away.
Okay, yes, the last question for emphasis sake, I will take it back to the state and I want you to speak to you. Is there any sport development under Ahmadu and for the past 7 years?
It's been amazing. I believe the 2 governors that have come from Remo, Otumagbenga Daniel and Governor Abuja, have shown class in the way they've handled sports. Sport can never thrive without the facilities. And these 2 governors have done well. But